guys, welcome to the Cosplay Stitch and Seam podcast. We're here live at Emerald City Comic Con, and I'm interviewing local cosplayers in the Pacific Northwest area. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Kira.
My name's Megan.
And I'm Shandia.
Nice. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. We like to cover a lot of issues that are important to cosplayers. We've done an episode on like cosplay is not consent. We've done cosplay and mental health, all kinds of things. Are there any issues that you guys feel like should be talked about more in the cosplay community?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Cosplay and consent I actually think is a fabulous start. For me, my costumes have only gotten bolder because of that safety net actually. So
excellent. Walking
around here this year, I'm kind of like half naked as we walk around, and it's actually been really wonderful. Like this community, especially here at ECCC, is really wonderful about consent.
Yeah, I noticed they had like signage everywhere to remind people.
And people are very vocal. Like they'll come up and ask me for pictures, but they're very good about like talking to me instead of just touching me to start with, which can be really kind of obtrusive.
Great.
So like my characters have gotten bolder because of that safety net, which I really appreciate.
I do. I mean, I agree with the point that the safety net, like you were saying, it actually makes me feel more comfortable just like doing anything at all. Just coming in, because I feel like everybody's very accepting of whatever you're dressing as and whatever you're doing, and doesn't really like judge you on what you're dressed as. So it makes it feel like you can go further and go have more fun with it without being
fantastic.
Stressed.
Anything to add?
What they said. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Excellent. Well, we also like to ask you guys about like cosplay horror stories, if you have any, or just like some wonderful, amazing experiences you've had through cosplay. So I'm going to go through one at a time. If you guys have any you want to talk about. Anyone want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first actually. We do the very famous Seattle bar crawls down here. Actually, my little sister and I do all of them together. And this last year we went for SantaCon dressed as 7 reindeer. We were like 5 of the 7.
Oh, cute.
But some of my favorite, just like interesting from both sides. So we had 4 gentlemen approach us like really, really boisterously, like very broken English, very much traveling from here. And they were like, oh, you'll be part of our vacation. Can we take a picture with you? And it was really great. Mm-hmm. All the way down to as we got closer, I had a gentleman like grab me physically by the arm and tell me I had to take a picture with him and kind of like smash me in. And I kind of was like, no, we have a place to be. And I'll actually like politely excuse myself, because I think if you were rewarded with attention at that point, you're giving permission that you're not actually giving. Nice. So that part makes me uncomfortable, a little bit leery, which is why I'm always out with a buddy, as my buddy's out here with me today.
Good. That was a good plan. Good plan. Cool.
Yeah.
Ladies?
I always enjoy whenever people ask for pictures. Like, we've only been doing this for a couple of years, so we're not really like used to that. When you're just walking down the street, nobody's really like, can we take a picture with you? You look so great.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay. But in here, it's almost like a compliment. Like, it's like all that hard work that you put in to your costume, and all those hours and all those times that you wanted to quit, and all the times you just got so upset with it. At the end of the day, you get here and everybody's so proud of it, and like proud of it for you, so it makes you proud of it, and you're just like more confident basically, like walking around. When I'm not going to walk around like a frostbitten Elsa just at work. Like, I would not do that normally, but then here I feel very confident in doing that, just because of the community that Comic-Con has given. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really read a whole lot. I don't really know a whole lot of this stuff, but I enjoy coming back every single year because of the community that this has introduced me to. And I love all the art, and it's honestly like introduced me to a bunch of stuff that I've now first gotten into before even coming to Comic-Con.
Awesome.
So like, yeah, the community has definitely made me come back every single year.
Very cool.
I don't really have any horror stories yet, I guess, but
that's good.
But I will. Last year, we came and I dressed up as kind of like an obscure book character, and we were in the writer's block area, and there was at least like a couple people who recognized me, and we were able to bond over the book series itself, and that was really cool, because then you get to meet new people who you have shared interests with that are really exciting. But then also, I walked by the publishing booth. And they recognized me and got a picture and sent it to the publisher.
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
I got posted on Instagram, and I was like, I feel so famous right now.
That's so fun.
It was a different experience, because last year was something obscure, and it was really fun. This year I'm going as Ariel, so it's like more obvious, but
For your interpretation.
yeah, like more interactions with people today, and getting a lot more pictures and having a lot more fun. But the ones I had last year were like more in depth, because they were people who we had like something in common that you could distinguish more. So you kind of make more friends that way too. So I've got both ends of the spectrum at this point. It's been really fun and exciting to kind of experience that.
Cool. So last question for each of you. It can be a long or short answer. What is your favorite thing about cosplay?
the freedom. Like, the freedom to basically think about whatever your little heart desires, and you're like, and just knowing that you can do it. Like,
Nice.
anything you want to portray, like, gender-wise doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Even if it's like real or fake, animal, like anything like that, like if you like it and if you want to be that person, you have the freedom to be that person.
Awesome.
Like, and it's just like I said, the community, like accepting anybody that wants to dress up as anything.
Yeah.
And no judgment. Like,
I love that.
yeah, so it's
Very cool.
very welcoming. I appreciate that a lot.
I think it's very empowering to come out as a grown-up and take, a day off and play pretend with other professional grown-ups. Like, I think there's a special place where that happens, like, there's stories that you can't really explain to other people, I think, unless they come experience it, which is my favorite part of it.
Very cool.
The shared community. I'm a craft junkie, so the making of the costume and the completion of it, and then walking out in the hat and being like, this is done and I feel great, like, really, really gives you like a certain high. But I think the best part is definitely the community of people who just like come together and just love. We are all doing the same thing one way or the other, and we're having a great time with it. So.
Awesome. Names one more time, and if you guys have a social media you'd like to plug, go ahead and...
Well, I don't, but I'm Kira.
My name's Megan.
I'm Shandia. You'd also find me as Kiora Celt online.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Hi, this is Pannon with Cosplay Stitch and Seam Podcast, and I'm here with...
Ellie.
Ellie, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How long have you been cosplaying for?
I haven't been cosplaying very long at all. The only cosplays I've ever done are like ones off of Amazon, straight out of the package. So this is
Welcome.
Yeah, I know. This is my first cosplay that I'm doing that I actually worked hard on.
Very cool. And tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm dressing up as Taco from TV from the podcast Adventure Zone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fan, as you may know.
Yeah, I love your loop cosplay.
Thank you. So just a few questions about like what is it like in the Pacific Northwest? What's the cosplay community like?
So I'm not very familiar with the cosplay community, but from as far as I know from the couple conventions I've been to, people are super kind. And it's like, instead of like 1 in every 10 cosplay being super good, it's like 1 in every 2 that's like outstanding.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
super
really
awesome.
Cool. What got you into cosplay in the first place?
I'm a theater kid at heart. I've always done theater, and it was a way to nerd out.
Oh, fantastic.
Totally. Get into character and walk around. It reminds me a lot of theater, and especially being around people who recognize you all day. It's pretty
super
sweet.
fun.
Yeah,
It's great. Well, one of the things we like to cover with our podcast is like social issues that are important to cosplayers. Are there any issues you feel like need to be brought to light in the community today?
not any issues that I can think of, but one thing that I did comment on when I was with a couple of my friends walking around is I really liked how much diversity is here.
Awesome.
And especially, it's been an issue, especially like Comic-Con, for example, is usually a bunch of straight white men. And while that's cool for them, it's so cool walking through Artist Alley and seeing a ton of different people who are queer, disabled, of different ethnicities.
Fantastic.
A lot of diversity that usually you don't see like around.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
So, being someone from the Pacific Northwest, what would you say your favorite convention in this area is?
Definitely, I have to say Emerald City. This is the first time I've been here, but it's definitely my favorite. Sakura-con
awesome.
I like, but I don't know a lot of anime, so I don't recognize it as much.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to find you online or Facebook, do you have a cosplay site?
I don't have a cosplay site, but I have an art Instagram. It's,
fantastic.
Cap'n Swordfish, so C-A-P-N and then Swordfish.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ellie, for answering some questions for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm here today with
Miss Suju Cosplay at Miss Suju on Instagram.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been cosplaying, what your favorite series are, and what you are today.
So I guess I've been cosplaying. My first convention was SoccerCon in 2009, so I was in middle school. And I guess I've been cosplaying pretty much for about, I guess I'd make it 10 years now.
I was gonna say it's your cosplay anniversary.
But I think actually like really getting into the hobby and trying, you know, harder to like challenge myself with cosplay probably in the last few years I've been really getting into it. And
That's
just
awesome.
I really love cosplaying. And I'm a Seattle local as well, born and
That is
raised.
fantastic. Oh, nice. So since you are a Pacific Northwest cosplayer, what would you say is your favorite part about the cosplay community here?
I think here the community is very relaxed and chill. I think like I see all sorts of people, all shapes, sizes, colors, cosplaying, and like It's pretty cool. I've never really run into any issues and stuff, and I think I like the
good.
cons too as well. I think they're pretty relaxed compared to other cons I've been to, but they're like still a good size as well. So you see all kinds of people. I think
Very
it's cool.
Well, we like to cover like all over the board things like cosplay is not consent. Are there any social issues that you think need to be brought to light more?
Yeah, I think me definitely, like I'm a Black cosplayer, and then I'm also part of the LGBT community, so there's definitely a lot of issues and different things of racism, colorism, you know, homophobia and transphobia. So I'm definitely very passionate about those kind of issues.
Definitely. Very. Thank you. We also like to do like some feel-good stories if you have one, or horror stories. Do you have one you want to share?
Yeah, I guess I'll do a feel-good story. Want to feel good today?
Sure.
But yeah, so this last year at Anime Expo, so like me and my sister were both cosplaying from a video game series Nintendo called Splatoon.
Oh yeah.
And so we were actually the two idols from Splatoon 2, Marina and Pearl. So I was Marina, she was Pearl. And there was this one little girl who's just like, she was just in a Chibi Usa cosplay, and she's with her dad. She's a little black girl. But she was just so like absolutely ecstatic to see us. Like we were just in, you know, kind of the like atrium area, and she just bolted from her dad, and her dad couldn't even catch up to her. And she's like, oh my god, can I please get a picture with you guys? And she was just the sweetest little thing.
That's so
but I think
fun.
it really felt good, because I think when I was younger, like I didn't really like see as many cosplayers that look like me, but I think as I've gotten older, it's definitely a lot more. So I definitely want to also be able to inspire, you know, younger people like that, and see that, you know, anyone can cosplay, everyone can have fun, that kind of thing. So it was really awesome, and she's just the sweetest little girl.
That is so
and she's
cool.
talking about, I think she said in the future, she's like, yeah, I want to like, you know, have my own YouTube channel and all that stuff. So who knows, maybe in like 10 years or so, we might be seeing her around. So it's really cool to like, you know, see someone like that. It was really sweet.
That's awesome. Last question. What is your favorite thing about cosplay?
I think my favorite thing about cosplay is just kind of like becoming a different character, really the dressing up, the makeup, just the transformation.
Great.
It's really enjoyable to me. And, you know, I like all elements of it, fashion, makeup and stuff. And kind of I like how a lot of people, some people worry about accuracy, but I think for me, more cosplay is I like how seeing what different flavors of a character people bring out in their cosplay, because everyone does it kind of differently. So I think that's like my favorite thing, kind of like expressing your own individuality, but also as like a different character is pretty cool. That's I really love that.
There's really like so many different talents that it takes to cosplay, and it's just like a combination of everything. I love that.
Yeah.
One more time, what is your cosplay name and where can people find you?
Yeah, so my cosplay name is Miss Suju, and my Instagram is Miss, and then there's an underscore, and then Suju. So the Suju's SUJU.
Nice.
And then on Twitter, I'm also Miss_Suju_cos. So COS. So those are my two handles that I use on social media for cosplay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us interview you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi guys, welcome to Cosplay Stitch and Seam live at Emerald City Comic Con. I'm here today with...
I am Logan. I am Hippophoralcus Cosplay.
I'm Micah. I'm Captain Micah on Twitter.
This is Alex. I am at Busted Jetpack on almost every social media platform. So
Nice. And you guys are from the new Castlevania Netflix series, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to tell me which characters those are, since we're a podcast?
I am Alucard.
Nice.
I'm Sypha.
And Trevor Belmont.
Excellent. You guys look amazing, by the way. We'll do a selfie after so we can share that. So tell me a little bit about what the cosplay community is like here in the Pacific Northwest, and maybe what your favorite part about it is.
So I am from Portland. I started cosplaying, maybe 4 years ago now. And it was the kind of thing where I had gone to Comic-Con before and not dressed up and seen all the costumes and got the itch to try, and was really kind of not sure about it when I got into it. And when I finally did it, I built a costume for here at Emerald City a few years ago, and it was from Dragon Age 2 specifically, and saw a bunch of people, met 3 or 4 people that introduced me to the greater Pacific Northwest community at large, and I have just built the biggest, wonderful group of friends that have introduced me to so many wonderful things, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I have to echo a lot of that. I mean, I started a bit before that in terms of I started with a lot of superhero costumes, but it was really the Dragon Age community here up in the Pacific Northwest that we all kind of met about 4 years ago, I think, and everyone just had a lot of enthusiasm for what they were doing. Everyone's really nice and super supportive, and just it's kind of, I would say, just a big group of friends that works really well.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is that it's going to be weird saying this, but like Pacific Northwest cosplay is oddly supportive. Like everyone, you know, sure we all have our own fandoms and stuff like that, but everybody's super supportive in what everybody else is doing. Whether it's like teaching each other how to do things, like we're all hobbyists here, and that's like the thing that everybody kind of keeps in mind. But with that, it doesn't mean that you can't like help, you know, a friend out. If you know, like what I've noticed is that like I'm not super big into sewing, but I have friends who are. They're super like really patient, really thorough, and it's like this great sharing groupthink kind of mentality, which is very unique to, I think, to this area.
Very cool. Very cool. We like to cover like social issues, topics that are really important to cosplayers. Are there any that stand out in your mind that like maybe need a little more attention?
Definitely one that's been in the social media scene recently more so, which is wonderful, is emphasizing and showing people of color cosplayers and female cosplayers, and really kind of boosting the visibility of all of these groups that traditionally haven't gotten as much of the limelight, I want to say, and, you know, just retweeting and pointing out cosplayers, photographers, all of these people in these social groups that should be as much a part of the community as everyone else, and just breaking those barriers and getting everyone to see and know everyone.
I would say absolutely all of that. One of the other things that I think is really important is for people to, the mental health aspect that goes along with a lot of cosplay and making sure not to burn out. I do think in a lot of cases, some people have feel like they have an obligation to continue to churn out multiple costumes, and a lot of us have full-time jobs or families or other obligations, and so juggling all of that and making sure that you don't make cosplay a burden on top of that, and making sure that you know when to step back, what to do, just to kind of keep track of your own mental health and make sure you're having fun and taking care of yourself.
Well, I think like cosplay isn't meant to be a contest, and at the end of the day, cosplay is cosplay is cosplay. Whether you're like super into 100% recreating a movie or show or anime accurate outfit, whether you want to do a casual version, a coffee shop AU, your own artistic interpretation, crossplay, Rule 63, all that fun stuff, like it's all cosplay. And I think there's just a lot of room for just the community to understand that like you can do whatever interpretation you want. It's not a competition. Have fun, do the thing, just have a blast while at the con.
Nice, nice. So as you may or may not know, we like to do some cosplay horror stories and also uplifting stories of a good time you may have had at the convention. But do you guys have any stories you want to share?
So last year I did a cosplay from the video game Overwatch. Met up with a bunch of people. This was at PAX actually, PAX West. Met a bunch of wonderful people, but as we were walking around the con, we came across 3 younger children. They couldn't have been 7, 8. All of 3 dressed up in their own built costumes from Overwatch. And they were cardboard, aluminum foil, but they were, you could tell they put so much heart into these and they were so excited about them. It was one of the greatest to see that at that young age, that they could get involved and feel that they're part of the community like this.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh gosh, I am completely blanking right now.
Okay, you're okay, we'll come back.
We have an uplifting story, so I'm going to say a horror story. Just the caution for maybe newer cosplayers. There's a concept of dual adhesion. Like every part that's connected to another part should have at least 2 points of contact. Because fun fact, while things like duct tape and super glue and all that other stuff sounds fantastic and actually adheres, when it's really hot outside, really humid, it starts to melt. I was wearing a full Alistair from Dragon Age Origins outfit, and it was like 82 degrees outside, super humid, and everything just started to peel apart. Mechanical adhesion's great, 2 points of contact is great, just when in doubt, adhere it again.
Nice, nice.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm actually, because I'm standing next to one of the people from one of our best stories, I'd say. So Logan, 4 years ago when he made his first costume, we're last day of Emerald City, and we run into this Fenris from Dragon Age, and we're dressed up, the other 2 of us right here, we're dressed up as characters from Dragon Age Origins. And we have this really quick like, oh man, you look awesome, take photos, all of that. 6 or so months later, down in Portland at Rose City Comic Con, we run into another amazing Dragon Age Fenris who's the same person. And
it took us quite a while to realize that we were the same group.
Yes.
Because we had the photo, but we became friends, and we're friends for 6 or 9 months after Rose City. And then we were just looking back through photos, and I think that's Alex and Micah. It is. So we met way before and just didn't realize.
And there was an element of us being like, your costumes are amazing. We're in Dragon Age. You're in Dragon Age. We have to hang out. And now we've been friends ever since.
That is awesome.
Clearly we should be friends.
So last question I've been asking everybody, what is your favorite part about cosplay?
Probably the breadth of skills that I have learned, whether I was intending to or not.
Yes.
Just from various costumes, I have learned sewing, armor builds, and working with foam and plastics like Warbler. Just so many different, like woodworking a little bit, which I never expected to get into. Electronics and soldering, and really when you get into cosplay, there are so many techniques. Some of them really complicated, some of them not. Like, it doesn't matter what materials you use, that you end up learning a lot of skills that you maybe not set out to do.
I like that.
Yeah, for me, I really like doing a lot of the sewing and the patterning work. I really enjoy taking just a picture or a concept or something that might not have all the seams in there already, figuring out how I want to make it work, how I want to make it best fit, and kind of making something that just works in real life. But yeah, I think that's the thing that I find most fun.
Nice.
Oh, and for me, it's 100% the community aspect. It's, meeting new people, seeing just the utter excitement and passion that people have for this hobby and this community. It's super infectious, and like I've met some of my best friends through cosplay, and I expect and am very excited to anticipate seeing expanding those friendships, meeting new people, seeing the new waves of generations coming in and putting their own spin to cosplay, and it's just it's dynamic, it's exciting, it's wonderful.
For sure. Okay, last time I'm going to say, give us your online cosplay names and where can we find you?
So I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Logan Collins, and my cosplay name is Hippophoralcus.
Nice.
I'm on Twitter as Captain Micah.
Yep, and Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as @BustedJetpack.
Awesome. Thank you guys again for being on the show.
Great, thank you.
Hi guys, still here at Emerald City Comic Con. Today I am with
Reginald Brown.
And where can we find you online?
I have an Instagram, Regilicious912.
Nice.
Okay.
And?
Okamiko.
And where can we find you online?
Kuro Okamiko. Well, actually, it's KURO_Okamiko, and that's on Instagram.
Nice. And what made you guys decide to do Emerald City this year?
Well, I came in because my friend here, she, moved to the area because she used to live down in Georgia. So I figured, it'd be nice to, come see her, come hang out.
Fantastic.
We met at a convention, so I figured, hey, it'd be cool to come hang out with her for a little bit.
Definitely.
And I'm here because I live here and I love cons.
That's fair, that's fair. You guys mentioned this is your first Emerald City, but how long have you been cosplaying in general?
I've been cosplaying since 2013, Dragon Con.
Okay.
So that was September 2013.
Nice.
I've been cosplaying since 1987. We called it Halloween.
Nice. I like that.
We did much for Halloween.
Yeah. What are some issues that you feel need to be brought to light more in the cosplay community?
I would think just the importance of representation of characters, whether that it shouldn't matter that if you're different colored than what you're trying to cosplay. It shouldn't matter also body types as well, because bigger people tend to get a lot of flack for cosplaying for sure. So to me, those are the top two issues I see in the cosplay community.
Awesome.
I think one of the issues is people looking down on the community. Like just right now, we were walking down the street and somebody screamed that we dropped our dignity. And I think that people need to understand that this is therapeutic for some people and it's a way for them to show their creativity.
Yeah.
And if you hate that, then you're a horrible person.
I like that. That's a really good point. So we also like to collect stories that are both uplifting or terrifying about things that happen while in cosplay, both to raise awareness and also to show that there are really good points to cosplay. Do you guys have a horror story or an uplifting story you'd like to share?
I guess my uplifting story is kind of like a theme. Anytime, a lot of times when I go to conventions, there's children who they might not even know who I am character-wise, but they always want to take pictures because, oh, he looks cool. That almost happens happens every con I go to. I think that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah.
A great story for me is like when kids think you are the character and you just see the expression on their face, like oh, that's Spider-Man, and they really think that's Spider-Man, or they really think that's Deadpool.
Nice.
I think, you know, seeing children's innocence and seeing happiness brought by regular people, because we're all superheroes.
That is awesome. I love that.
It's almost like if the community itself, like the adults, could kind of come to it as children do, it'll be a better place, you know?
I like that. I like that. So since this is your first time, I don't know if both of you for ECCC?
Yep.
Nice. What have you noticed, or how have you felt about the Pacific Northwest cosplay community in general?
You know, it's a nice variety of different genres at this con, and I really do like that. Because a lot of times, like, if you go to like an anime convention, that's all you're going to see is the anime.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just kind of like, it's nice to see a mixture of everything here. And, you know, for the most part, you know, I guess it just kind of reflects the area. So.
Like he said, diversity, and then I also like how big it is. Well, maybe a little too big because there's too much to do and we're trying to figure it out. But you know, the diversity and seeing the different costumes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I've been asking everybody, what is your favorite thing about cosplay?
To me, I like to put different spins of characters and do mashup of characters. It allows me to kind of be creative. Like, sometimes I'll do, like, from the textbook character model and just do it, but sometimes I just kind of like to do my own thing.
Nice. Nice.
Just stepping outside of myself and being someone else.
Nice.
You know, because I think that is good for you to be able to feel better in a costume or become that character, even just for a day.
Sure. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I'm here today with
Tancho.
And where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Tansuru, and that's TANSURU, or on Instagram. The first one was Twitter, and Instagram at Girl Dissolving.
And what are you cosplaying today?
Today I'm cosplaying Sailor Uranus.
Heck yes.
And mine's Jamila. I'm Black Betty Cosplay. Black Betty Cosplays on Instagram, and on Twitter it's @BBetty_cosplay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this is my first time at Emerald City. How long have you guys been cosplaying, and just like, is this your favorite con, or what is your favorite con in the area?
I think I've been cosplaying since 2001. And my favorite con in the area is probably going to be Geek Girl Con.
Nice.
I've been cosplaying for about 10 or so years. I don't remember when. And I think my favorite con in the area is probably Rose City Comic Con.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. What do you think makes the Pacific Northwest community different or exciting or fun? What is your favorite part about cosplaying here in like Washington, Oregon area?
I think there's a lot of really organized photo shoot outside of convention activity. There's a lot of really active groups, and you could probably go to a photo shoot every weekend if you wanted to at some points. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of active groups and then a lot of growing communities. There's actually a Pacific Northwest Guild that's forming to get like a lot of cosplayers connected. So there's a lot of options. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we like to cover various things in the cosplay community, like mental health in cosplay, body positivity, cosplay is not consent. Are there any social issues that you guys feel need a little more spotlight?
Black cosplayers.
Yeah.
Just supporting Black cosplayers or POC cosplayers, and finding community in that way, and also being supported in the same way that other cosplayers are, it can be kind of difficult. So yeah.
Do you have, as far as that goes, do you have any advice for people in this community so that they are less maybe abrasive?
Oh, for other people, don't be racist.
That's a good one. That's good.
That's why I'm not on back podcast.
I'm going to echo that. Definitely like a lot more support for cosplayers of color. Like we actually had a panel about that. And part of it's finding the right community, and I've definitely started to find more people, but it's harder, and it definitely has an impact because even though Portland and Seattle are nice and diverse, they still have the same issues about not representing everybody very well, or poor representation even at the cons, not inviting the guests that are there, or promoting cosplayers that are plus size of another color, and they need to work a little harder at that. So it's definitely something that needs to improve.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for those of us who are not cosplayers of color and things like that, what can we do to maybe use our privilege to help you guys?
Definitely be aware. That's like the first step. And if you spend time with a cosplayer who happens to be of color or plus size, you'll start to notice things. If your friend is cosplaying with you and they get pushed out of a photo shoot, don't let that happen, because that actually happens a lot. Supporting them, promoting them, suggesting them as con guests or panel guests, asking them to be on your panel, just including cosplayers of color so that we're not left out, because it's really easy to just assume we're included and we're not. And so it's just that extra mile makes a huge difference so that we don't always have to be the ones doing all the work.
Nice.
If you know a photographer or you know somebody that you like to work with and you have a POC or a non-white friend that, you know, maybe might not have as much easy accessibility, definitely introduce them. I introduce a lot of people to like photographers that I worked with because I know I'm black, well, not obviously, but if you work with me, like if a photographer approaches me first, I know that they're probably a safe person, and then I work to introduce them to other people that I know, because a lot of people do get pushed out, you know, if they're not the super ideal, like super thin, whatever, that people think is the height of beauty.
Nice. I appreciate your honesty. So we also like to share cosplay horror stories or like uplifting stories about how cosplay has done awesome things for you. Do you guys have a story you want to share?
I was hemming 2 giant circle skirts into this costume that I'm wearing today at 7 a.m. this morning. That's a horror story.
Nice.
A quick horror story is, I've had the late night con, and the worst one was definitely trying to drive up to Seattle from Portland at like 2 a.m. and being so sleep deprived, I literally had to sleep in a parking lot at McDonald's. So don't do those last minute cosplays. On the positive end of things, I've definitely had other cosplayers of color, or people who aren't cosplayers but just at a con, approach me or a friend who is a cosplayer of color doing a non-canon character and being like, it's so nice to see you doing this because it means I can do it.
Nice.
So it has a huge impact.
Nice. And this last question I've been asking everybody, what is your favorite thing about cosplay?
I just love dressing up. Like, I wanted to do ballet, and then I figured out, like, you had to, like, do point and do, like, be really hardcore to get, like, the cool costumes. And I was like, I'm out. And then I found cosplay, and I'm like, yes. So nice. I just love dressing up in different ways.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I love costumes. I love making costumes, and it's just a chance to be a different character, so it's kind of fun.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. One more time, where can we find you guys on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Girl Dissolving.
And you can follow me on Instagram as Black Betty Cosplays.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Hi guys, here at day 3 of Emerald City Comic Con. I'm interviewing local cosplayers. Today we have
Queen Amidala.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you have a place we can find you online, like Instagram, anywhere like that?
Actually, I don't have Instagram. Yeah, but I like cosplay.
Great, great. Well, we love your Amidala. It's gorgeous. Did you make it all yourself?
Yeah, I made it by myself.
Wow.
It took like 4 months.
That's amazing. Is it super heavy?
It's very heavy.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been cosplaying?
So I've been cosplaying for 5 years, and then I do different cosplay every year. So this year I decided to do Amidala because my birthday is same year, same month, and same day as Queen. Yeah, it's same as Natalie Portman.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yep.
Well, tell me a little bit about what's the cosplay community like here in Washington State?
Actually, it's very good. There's a Seattle cosplay, so I'm part of the group, and they have a workshop in Shoreline. Then they teach you how to sew and how to make the like an armor. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's awesome. Do you have any fun stories about cosplay, either like a horror story or a fun time you had, or?
Actually, the fun time I have actually is in a bar, and it's not a horror story.
It's okay.
But it's the it's like it's a good way to make a friend and get a free beer.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's good. So we also like covering like social issues. Like I notice here they have a lot of signs that say cosplay is not consent. Make sure that people are asking for pictures and things like that.
Right.
Are there any social issues that you feel should be brought to the light a little bit more?
No, I'm very glad. Actually, I saw the gender-neutral bathroom. That's very good here.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What is your favorite thing about cosplay?
Sometimes you don't need to be yourself. You can be someone else.
I like that.
Yep. And you can be someone else and you can set yourself free.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Great. Let me give. Today I have with me
Erica Halbert.
And where can we find you online? Do you have like an Instagram, anything like that?
I'll be setting up an Instagram on Monday because I keep getting that question.
Nice.
I have a Facebook page. We're under Lazy Day Cosplay.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. So we're just kind of checking out the Pacific Northwest cosplay community. What would you say your favorite part about Emerald City is?
Emerald City, we definitely come for the costumes. It is the Western Championship of Cosplay, the biggest cosplay contest on this side of the country. So you get the biggest and best costumes from the Pacific Northwest here on Saturday, right about this time.
Nice, nice. So how long have you guys been into cosplay?
I've been doing it since 2010.
Okay.
And he's not part of this interview, sorry. He's been doing it since 2014. My mom's been doing it with me since 2011. Over here's the witch.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So what got you guys into doing cosplay as a family?
Well, normally we don't do everything together, but I started it. I went to San Diego Comic-Con and I had my favorite character ever, Elena Fisher from Uncharted. Basically, she just wears a button-up blouse and jeans. And I was so excited to be in costume, and I got to San Diego, I got to Comic-Con, and no one recognized me. And,
oh, wow.
You know, obviously, I was just wearing a shirt and jeans. No one was going to recognize me. But I had my friend with me who pieced together her own costume, sewed her own stuff, and people were stopping and asking her for pictures constantly. And I thought, you know what? I want to do that. I want to be that person that poses for pictures all the time and makes my own costume. So from there, it's just every year try to get better and better and do more.
That's really cool. So we also like to cover social issues that cosplayers face these days. Is there any social issue that you feel like should be brought to the light a little bit more?
I think that people really need to encourage anyone can cosplay. It doesn't matter if you want to be Zelda and you're black. Do it. If you want to be Zelda and you're a man, do it. I have an olive skin tone. I have black hair, so I was really nervous about trying to pull off the white hair and blonde and such, and I was worried what people were going to think of me. It's like, look at her, that skin tone and that hair color, they don't go together at all. She looks hideous. And you know what? I just said, forget it. I want to be this character. This is one of my favorite characters. I'm just going to do it.
Nice.
And I did it, and you know, I have gotten nothing but compliments. I've had people ask, is this your real hair? And it's like, of course it is. But, you know, no one, what I thought people would care about, no one actually cares about. So I really I think people should be able to get over that mental hurdle of what are people going to think of me? People are going to call me ugly, and just do it because people love seeing you.
Nice, nice. Do you have any advice then for people who maybe have been afraid to take that step and try?
Do something that you love so that even if no one else is excited to see you, you are excited to be who you are.
I like that. That's awesome. So we also like hearing cosplay horror stories. If you have one that you'd like to share?
Oh yes, many, many. The worst one was Rose City of last year. This was actually the costume that we were doing, and a whole bunch of things happened that summer that we just got constant setbacks. And we were sewing this costume in the hotel room all 3 days of the convention. We eventually called it good enough about noon on Sunday, and we're like, we don't want to pay this much money and take this much time off work just to sit in a hotel room and sew.
Right.
So it was, I mean, it sounds silly, right?
Yeah.
But I go to these to cosplay. That's why I come. So for me, going in regular clothes and seeing everyone else having a great time and I'm not in costume, it makes me really sad. So I didn't want to go to the convention without a costume. So pretty much, we were just working nonstop. We had a lot of details missing. Things were being held together by pins, by tape. But we did eventually make it to the convention, and we've since actually finished the costumes.
That's fantastic.
So that was the worst horror story we have, but we have many.
Aww. Well, last question. Let's end on a positive. What is your favorite thing about cosplay?
I like, not to sound vain, I like the attention. I like people seeing a character they love and saying, oh my god, it's you, and they'll come up to you and they'll talk to you about the movie, the game, the book that you're from. I love even costumes I don't know. I'll see a beautiful costume and I want to go up and I talk to them about their stitching, about their armor, about their painting. I just love admiring other people's costumes, and I like it when people take that time to notice you as well. Awesome. And not only that, I love being my favorite characters.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm here with
Ashley.
And tell us about what you're cosplaying today.
I am Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Nice.
A lot of people are mistaking me for Peach because my daughter is Daisy.
Oh, cute.
Because I'm wearing Ariel's pink dress with her dingle hopper, and a lot of people keep forgetting about that scene, apparently.
It's very cute.
Thank you.
Yellow. And I'm wearing a yellow dress, too.
You are. I love your Princess Daisy. It's super cute. So tell us a little bit about yourself, when you got into cosplay, and how long you've been doing it.
So we have been going to Emerald City Comic Con since 2014. Every year since then, except for 2017, I had to have a surgery then. We mildly started getting into cosplay slowly. It's because I was 80 pounds overweight. I'm still in the process of losing weight, and the whole confidence thing, finding something that fits. And then we kind of realized that we can build and kind of create probably what's better than what you can buy. What I'm wearing right now, I did not make. Actually purchased it from Ariel's Secret, I think Ariel, listen to me. It's Angel's Secret. I actually highly recommend them. They're from China, I think, and they've been making cosplays for about 10 years.
Nice.
So I've done my research. This is a beautiful gown I actually didn't pay much money for.
That is awesome.
And I highly recommend them.
Nice. Well, tell us a little bit about the cosplay community here in the Pacific Northwest and what you like about it.
It's just, I don't know. We just all get along, and everyone wants pictures. Everyone wants to help each other out. My husband was going to be Reaper from Overwatch, but didn't have time or the passion to really put into it because he was kind of lost. And he ran into someone that did a Reaper very wonderfully, and he was telling her about it. She goes, and she gave him her card, and was like, "Hey, if you want tips, you give me a call, and I'll help you out." And that's
so nice.
That's how I feel like we always want to help each other out, and
fantastic.
Become these characters and feel great and look great, and I love it.
So as with our podcast, we also try to cover social issues in cosplay, like cosplay is not consent. Are there any social issues you feel like should be brought to the light a little bit more?
Probably the harassment, just because a woman wants to look and feel sexy does not give her permission to be harassed in any sort of way. As a woman, even a man, if you want to feel sexy and look sexy, I feel like you should be able to do so and not feel like you're going to be a target.
I like that. So we also like sharing cosplay horror stories. Do you have any that you want to share?
Okay, I think our best one was, I think it was 2015 or 16. We are from the Tri-Cities, and we drove all the way to Sunnyside. I think that was 30 minutes out, and we forgot our cosplays.
Oh no.
So, and my husband's like, "Do you really need them?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't bring clothes. I was going to cosplay." No. So we had to turn around and go all the way back and get them.
Geez. So last question for you both. What's your favorite thing about cosplay?
The reactions, I think, just saying, wow, little girls. I'm getting a lot of oh my gosh, little kids, little girls just looking at me and just wow, it's Ariel, and just, I just feel like I'm doing a good job.
Nice.
I'm pulling it off.
Daisy, do you want to tell me what you like about dressing up as Princess Daisy?
I do like Poison Ivy, and
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's fun about Daisy?
The Super Mario.
Yeah? You like the games?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
No problem.
I'm here today with one of maybe the underappreciated aspects of cosplay. We're here at Cosplay Repair. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, so I'm Gina, and I'm the general manager of CRS, just Cosplay Repair Station. We're a group that does cosplay repair stations at a number of different conventions. This is our second convention of the year so far, probably our fifth convention total for this year. We did actually 10 conventions last year, and we've been doing this for this is our 9th year doing this.
That is really cool.
We do various conventions around the Pacific Northwest, including a couple in Vancouver and Victoria.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. And how long have you guys been doing that?
Like I said, 9 years.
9 years?
Yeah, our first convention was SakuraCon 2011.
Oh, that's really cool. So for those who are maybe new to the cosplay scene, what does Cosplay Repair do for cosplayers?
So we are a dedicated area within a convention where attendees can come free to them to use and get their costumes repaired. So we have over 300 different supplies that we carry. Also, all of our staff are trained in various common repair techniques.
Nice.
So, and that's something that I don't see at a lot of other repair areas.
Yeah.
So we can actually assist and even do the repairs for the attendees if needed.
Oh, that's great.
Because a lot of the repairs that we see that are more challenging, like using epoxy or just getting wigs to stay on, that type of thing, really requires a little bit of extra knowledge.
Nice.
So again, that's something that all of our staff have.
Yeah, so not only do you guys have like access to supplies for cosplayers, you also have people who are experienced and know what they're doing to help out. Because there's always like something you can't reach on your costume.
Well, and even just, someone's bought the costume as opposed to making it themselves, that shouldn't be a reason why they can't get it repaired. So we can do the repairs for them.
Definitely. I love that. How many malfunctions would you say you help avert every year?
So Emerald City, we can reach between 800 and 1,000.
Wow, in just one weekend?
In just one weekend, yeah. Some of the smaller conventions we see around 150, but I would say we probably go between around 2,500 per year, just depending on the number of conventions that we do.
Wow, that's really cool. You mentioned that like people on your staff are all trained. How many different skill sets, like wigs, sewing, armor, do you need to be ready for here?
So we break the repair station into 4 subsections: wigs, sewing, glue, and general.
Okay.
General being a whole lot of duct tape and wire and just random things like that. And so general doesn't have any type of training, but the other 3 stations do have maybe 8 to 10 different tasks that we require. For example, with sewing, we want to make sure they know how to do a standard seam on a sewing machine, how to do a couple of different hand stitches, how to sew on a button, that type of thing. And then we also put all of our staff through a combination of customer service, safety, and sanitation training.
Oh, wow.
Because we really want to make sure that all of the repairs that we're doing are safe, sanitary, in addition to being efficient and effective.
That's awesome. And do you do that training throughout the year then? Or?
Yeah. We typically start in around October, November time frame, and then during that time frame, we're doing all of our trainings, gearing up towards our first convention of the year is typically TsukinoCon, which is anime convention up in Victoria.
Okay.
And that one's in February. And then Emerald City, SakuraCon, Everfree, Northwest, and then we'll do Geek Girl Con in the fall probably.
Oh, nice. Okay. And then if people want to volunteer, do they have to be a cosplayer or have the experience?
No, and that's the beauty of it, because we give them all the training. They don't have to have any experience.
Oh, that's great.
So if anyone,
they're also learning a lot of valuable skills.
So we teach them the skills initially, and then working the repair station will really give them a lot of confidence in doing the skills, because when you are putting on 10 wigs an hour, you get pretty good at putting wigs on.
That's really good. That's a really good way to kind of level up your experience with that. What would you say has been your most difficult repair?
Wing harnesses are definitely the most challenging. You're fighting gravity. You've got this skinny attachment that's holding up this massive piece. We had, I don't remember what the cosplayer is, but it was something that was supposed to hang down at a very specific angle.
Oh, geez.
And we tried just about every supply we could throwing at it. We finally got it mostly good enough to last her the rest of the day. But that one was definitely, it was hot glue, epoxy, duct tape, everything. Just put it on there and hope it holds.
Oh, man. Do you have a story for maybe the weirdest repair you've had to do? Or?
Oh man, do I? I gotta weed through. They all start to blur together after a while. But so this is actually a story from one of my other staff.
Okay.
And it was his first year at the repair station. And at the end of the repair station, we would typically ask, were there any? Did you feel prepared to do all of your various repairs? And he said, nothing could have prepared me for repairing a baguette. So of course I had to ask the story. So the character was, I think her name is Sasha from Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah,
so she's got she didn't have time to finish the swords and all of the 3D gear. So instead of finishing it, she had 2 baguettes and for the swords, and then she had the big like French rolls for the gas canisters.
Oh my goodness.
So of course baguettes are not really intended to be wielded as swords.
No, they're
the
not.
baguette started to break. But her friends wanted to have the baguette for lunch later that day. So whatever repair we did had to still not compromise the baguette too much.
Oh my goodness.
So we ended up actually running little strips of wire through the portion of the baguette that had breaked and then wrapping it in clear packing tape.
Oh my
we
goodness.
said, okay, you can't eat the portion touching the clear packing tape of the wire, but the rest of it's fair game.
Wow, I like that one. So as a cosplay repair volunteer, what motivates you to help?
To me, it's just really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm also a problem solver. So this is definitely problem solving.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really funny to watch some of the attendees because they'll come into the repair station and they'll say, okay, here's my problem, you know, do you have tape? And we're going, yeah, we've got this tape, we've got this tape, we've got this glue, we've got this glue, we've got this, you know, what do you want? And they're just, you know, staring at us with big eyes like, oh, what, you know, that's way more than what I was expecting for. I was just going to duct tape it. And we're like, no, we got you covered. And it's always fun to see, you know, how grateful people are. And because we were always the cosplayers who had in our hotel room the hot glue guns and the sewing machine. Just kind of like, and you know, you'd see the cosplayer standing in the hallway with half the costume on and, you know, the tears running down their face. And it's like, what if I could help you? So it's been really nice to be able to fix people's costumes.
Sure. Well, a big part of our podcast is we like sharing like cosplay horror stories.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like you guys at Cosplay Repair are kind of like the other side where you like save us from these horror stories that could have gone so much worse.
Yes. I mean, we see the first half of the horror story and then we change the ending.
Yes. I like that. So my question is, what can we as cosplayers do to make your work easier?
So the big thing is try the costume on before you get to the convention. Try every piece on. Try walking, try sitting, try going through doors, try getting in and out of cars, because that's 90% of where these damages happen. Is we haven't, you know, you didn't realize when you were making it that the knee armor gets in the way of the shin armor, and then you put it on and took your first step in the convention center and it's just all falling apart. So yeah, definitely pre-wear it.
Good plan.
Before you get to the convention.
That. And how about for cons that maybe don't have a cosplay repair station? What advice would you have for them?
For the conventions themselves, if they can even have like an area that has a couple of hot glue guns, some safety pins, and needle and thread, those are kind of the bare minimum essentials. Oh, and bobby pins for wigs. Those are kind of like, if you have to have it, like those are the things. If the convention can't provide them, then I really think every cosplayer should still bring just a few of those things themselves. I always carry a little sewing kit with me, specifically because I want to make sure I have the right thread colors. And I don't bother to bring the full spool of thread. I just bring the bobbin that I've wound because that's smaller and easier to pack.
That's a good point.
But yeah, definitely safety pins. If the cosplay has any specific type of attachment, like specific snaps or specific hook and eye, I always try and bring a couple of those extra.
Nice. Okay.
Just to have in
Very
case.
Cool. No, that's good. What positive experiences have you had because of your part in cosplay repair?
I mean, from a minimum standpoint, I've just got to go to a lot more conventions than I probably would have otherwise. I mean, before I started the repair station, I maybe did 1 or 2 a year. Now I'm doing 5 to 10 a year. So, you know, and just meeting more people, obviously getting to go to the conventions. I also feel like definitely a lot of my cosplay skills have vastly improved. All of my wig skills are because of working in the repair station.
Really cool.
Nothing gets you better prepared for trimming a wig than suddenly having to trim 20 of them in quick succession. So that's definitely been a bonus.
That is awesome. Well, my last question for you then is, what is your favorite part about cosplay?
For me, I like doing maybe more obscure characters or more niche things. And anytime someone else recognizes the cosplay or just appreciates the style or the construction, that's always like this immediate bonding moment of like, oh, kindred spirit.
Definitely. I love that.
So yeah, that's always been something that I really enjoy.
Nice. And one more time, you want to go ahead and plug the...
Yeah, so we have a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of them are either at Cosplay Repair or at Cosplay Repair Station. We're also, we have our website is cosplayrepair.org.
Awesome.
Anybody can reach out to us, cosplayrepair@gmail.com.
Great.
And if anybody ever wants to volunteer for the repair station, they can shoot us a quick email at cosplayrepair@gmail.com.
That's great. Well, on behalf of all of us, thank you guys so much. Like, we would not be able to survive the cons without you. And thanks for making time for us.